Hello everyone, my name is Markix and welcome to another Warmane video. This is going to be a different video. This is going to be a solo queue highlight video with commentary. So let's get right into it because the arena has started. Here we're dealing with a Resto Druid, Shadow Priest and Elemental Shaman. And here we see what I do against the Shadow Priest. Recklessness, Chance Bladestorm. Here, that I cancel Bladestorm, use Spell Reflect, and I predict the Psychic Horror. This is a disarm spell. Now, the reason why this is great is that Bladestorm is on a lower cooldown than Psychic Horror, so the next time Bladestorm is available, he will not be able to do anything about it. And then I interrupt the Hex, just to make sure pressure is not on anyone else, since we have this nice advantage here. But as you'll see in the arena, I won't need to use Bladestorm again because it ends pretty quickly. So the reason for making a video like this is not just for you, the viewers, but it's also for myself, so I can see what I do well and also improve as a result. Because, for example, reflecting the Psychic Horror is something that is quite nice. I quite like doing that, and it's very useful. So let's move into the next arena. Here we have a Thundercleave mirror. We have Elemental Shaman, Arms Warrior, and Holy Paladin on both sides. And I start by going on the Shaman, then I'm rooted, I get Dispel, I get Hand of Freedom on me, and then I start putting pressure on the Warrior because he's in the front line here. But I do try to spread around some of the damage using Rend and targeting the player with Mortal Strike. And here I'm on the Warrior again. I probably shouldn't have jumped around that much, but here you can see I used Retaliation on his Bladestorm because I felt quite comfortable in that scenario that we'd do well. The Warrior had debuffs. If I use Bladestorm, he's not going to disarm it. So as you can see here, it works quite well. The damage spreads itself quite nicely. And the Holy Paladin here actually makes a mistake. He uses Hand of Protection on the Shaman instead of the Warrior. And so that's basically a free opportunity to just tunnel the Warrior and get the kill. Now, I'm pretty sure the Holy Paladin made this mistake. I don't think he was intending on actually using it on the Shaman because the Shaman's HP was fine. But yeah, that's how it is. In this arena, you see I get a nice jump charge off, but then I go straight to the Priest. I use Bladestorm here because I saw the Warrior was in a Cyclone, so that's no disarm, and so that's just a good time to use it, get pressure. And he immediately uses Pain Suppression, so that's one defensive cooldown removed almost immediately. And I also keep my distance from the Warrior to, again, avoid the disarm. The Warrior here uses Retaliation, which I think is a mistake. Because they're in a defensive situation, I wouldn't personally use Retaliation. I have done this sometimes in the past. I've been too aggressive at times, and that has made me lose arenas. But as you can see here, pressure's on the Priest. He already has his defensive cooldowns used, and the Paladin could use Hand of Protection, but he does it too late. And the disease damage finishes him off. And that Bladestorm was just, I guess it was just there for the sake of doing it. In this situation here, I decide to use Recklessness and Bladestorm, but I decide to not use Spell Reflect on the Shadow Priest. But for some reason, the Shadow Priest didn't use Psychic Horror, and that immediately makes him use Dispersion. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but as we have Death Knight, one of the objectives here is to just spread around damage. You'll also have seen that nice Spell Reflect I got on the Elemental Shaman and hit him with a nice 5.6k crit. I think this trinket I made, however, was a mistake. Because the Shaman can use Hex on me, I would have been stuck in CC for quite a long time, so I think the 5-second Cyclone wasn't really worth trinketing. But it's something I did maybe just to keep being aggressive, because I don't want to give an opportunity for people to free cast. So there we go, full Cyclone here, which is something I would have probably preferred trinketing instead of the previous one. But the Resto Druid here uses Tranquility in a few seconds, and that will help him with his mana and healing. But the Death Knight here uses quite a nice anti-magic zone to avoid some of the damage going to us. But here, I mean, there's nothing really to say beyond this. What will happen, which is nice, is that I get a nice swap on the Elemental on the Resto Druid. And that will help finishing him off, because if you've spent the arena not attacking the healer, if you suddenly swap to him, he might not have heals on himself because for the whole arena he didn't need to do it. And you see now I switch to him and I interrupt him. I kicked him so he can't cast for a few seconds, and I'm just waiting for charge to be available, and then I go on him right now, and I just use Bladestorm. I don't even use Mortal Strike, because I figured that would have just been enough damage to finish him off, because he didn't seem to have any hots on him, or perhaps the priest dispelled him. I couldn't see. That's been it for this video. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyable. If you'd like to see more content like this, commentaries of this sort with arenas, do let me know in the comments. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel to see more. My name is Markix, and I'll see you in the next video.